All right, awesome. Well, hey, Melissa, thank you so much for joining me today. It's so nice to talk to you. I'll have you introduce yourself and your role with Konala.
Yeah, so my name's Melissa, and I am the area manager for Konala, moving into a franchise business coach as we just signed our first franchisee. So,
My gosh,
yeah,
that happened so fast. I mean, we
it
launched
did.
franchising like a month ago, maybe even less, and first franchisee. So tell us a little bit about, this isn't your first rodeo in franchising. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Absolutely. So I went to college at U of I, University of Idaho, and after school moved to Portland to pursue my career. I worked for several, and I'm going to do like air quotes, startup companies. One was 10 years down its road, but was a small screen printing supply company. The other was a t-shirt supplier. I really was all in on the screen printing world, but I wore many hats. I worked in customer service, purchasing, sales. I got into SEO and social media management. My husband and I decided to move back to where I grew up, so Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And when we moved back to Idaho, I became the general manager at a company called Stretch Lab, which is an exponential franchise under a couple who owned it. They actually owned several exponential brands, including Stretch Lab, Cycle Bar, and Pure Bar. From working at Stretch Lab, I moved into a area manager role because we opened multiple. So the first one I opened, we grew from 1 to 200 customers or members on that front. And then the second one, we grew from 1 to 150 customers before I left. And then I oversaw operations at both Cycle Bar and Pure Bar. And the background that kind of actually applies to my end here at Konala that I really enjoyed is I worked alongside, they called it a different role, but basically the franchise business coach over at Stretch Lab. She was my go-to person. I loved working with her so much. I was very hands-on with her. And so really getting to know the franchise model upon getting to know that role too. But that's kind of my background.
Yeah, I guess being in the franchise world, was there anything when you first entered that role that surprised you or interested you, as you got to know it?
I had worked for small business owners before, not in a franchise model. My true passion behind the franchise model is they have it, how do I say this better? They have it all set up for you. You get to follow their guidelines. You have constant assistance and help. They're there to be your teammate, lack of a better term. And growing up as an athlete, that's something I really cherish is having someone to go to look for advice or help, or they've been through it, they've done it. So I love that part of the franchise model.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a great point. Okay, so you were there for how long did you end up being?
Yeah, I was with them for, I've been in now with Konala franchising for 5 years. I've been with them since, late 2019, early 2020. I actually got the job during COVID. So little, kind of a little fun there, starting a small business during a pandemic.
And so what kind of made you choose Konala as your next step?
Yeah. So I've been an athlete my whole life, and I'll say athlete, I'm 34 years old. So that's kind of a loose term at this point. Um, but I know training and food really go hand in hand, especially working in boutique fitness like Stretch Lab, Pure Bar, and Cycle Bar. I got to help people both in their fitness and recovery journeys. So with that, I learned so much along the way, and food being the main source of struggle with people. Like we can help you on all fronts, but I can't, feed you every day. Well, now I can. Um, so food being such a main source of struggle, we see, a mom wanting to grab a quick bite or people, learning about protein and then wanting to get their full protein packed meal for that day or for that meal, or just someone trying to grab something quick and easy. Trace really showed me the vision early on of what that looked like. And seeing his vision to make healthy fast food delicious and convenient as possible, I wanted to work to make that dream a reality.
Yeah, yeah, I never thought about that connection between, being in the fitness franchise world to now, you get to actually understand everyone's struggles and, all those consumers that are coming in. It really makes it full circle. So, what were kind of your roles when you're, managing those, because you were managing multiple locations for, your previous job, and then
Yeah.
now taking that into Konala, what are your main roles within that area manager position?
It's, everything from customer service. I mean, that's a big thing for us. I love the customer service side of things. It's where I find my passion. And it's truly that, well, and I've just recently read this book, but unreasonable hospitality and giving that to both your staff and your customer. That to me is so important. I treat staff like family. I love them. And I never got to work with teenagers before I started at Konala, but that role of really, a lot of customer service, a lot of operations, tackling new things every day from, truthfully a call out to today the internet went down. You have so many things that you can tackle each and every day. And that was my main role, is just to kind of take the business. And I like to feel like it's my own, and let's tackle the day. Let's see what has in store.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So out of all the locations that you've run and different businesses that you've helped run, why do you feel like Konala is the easiest?
Truthfully, it's simple. And that's funny to say. But, Trace always says simple scales, fancy fails.
Yes.
And we apply that to all things at Konala. That is really the forefront of what we do. We try to make everything as refined and simple as possible. I worked with our director of operations, RJ, and we've really put into place step-by-step guides for everything that we do. We really make it a team effort here, not only with, our executive team, but then our staff as well. The other thing that makes it so easy for us, I didn't work in fast food before this, obviously, and we have heard the retention rate at fast food is like, they turnover is like 240% or some
Yes.
crazy number.
I can attest to it from my Chick-fil-A experience.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And we have less than a quarter of that. And so because of that, and because of the culture and how simple it is and how much, all of our team members enjoy where they work and what we do, it allows us to focus on, continually getting better in everything that we do and controlling costs and serving our customer and making it better each and every day. We can really focus on that because it's so simple and we can put those things into place. Yeah.
Yeah. So, something really interesting. You said you didn't come from food. So I guess, how was it coming from retail brands into food, and like, what was that transition like?
Initial reaction is it was fun. It was very fun, but it was very hard in the beginning. But we were creating a new brand. We were creating, it was brand new. He hadn't even, he had worked in food, but we hadn't done Konala before. So, I saw many menu iterations, many. I can't even count on two hands, but it became something so beautiful. Like what we worked on, it became something I loved even more than, boutique fitness. I get to really have a hand in this, but you get to see your product really start to finish. Boutique fitness is a lot of customer, where this is still a lot of customer, but it's also a lot of quality product and making sure that quality product is awesome. But I learned quickly because of how simple it is as well. I mean, that really, once we refined everything and made everything what it was, I really picked it up fast and I loved it. I truly do.
So if you had to go in, I guess, taking that, building the business and what you want to serve and how you want to do it, taking that aspect out of it, if you had to go in today and learn the system and the kitchen and drive-through operation, how easy do you think that would be?
And I say I truly can say it's all of us have worked so hard to create these processes and procedures. Everything is so simple. We have training manuals that are not tedious in that sense. I don't ever want someone to think that They're step-by-step easy guides, really building upon like building blocks. You're able to learn. And as long as you stick to the basics, it's easy and absolutely doable for anybody. I always say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So, yeah.
So how long now do you think it would actually even take you to, I mean, maybe, you can put this in a perspective of training someone new, but, with your experience on top of that, how long do you think it would take you just to be, efficient to run that operation, to learn?
Truthfully, I can speak to this because we did just open Coeur d'Alene. It took me a month to stabilize, teaching a brand new GM, all new staff. And they're fully functioning right now during middle of a lunch rush. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it's lunchtime.
yeah. So, we'll always be learning. We'll always be growing and making processes and procedures always better. But it's so simple and everything we've laid out that it's really quick and easy to learn. I truly believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And so I guess backtracking a little bit, what is going to be your role? I mean, you already have your first franchisee with Konala that you're helping, but as this brand grows, we've seen crazy interest just within a month, trying to keep up ourselves. But what would your role look like with all these franchisees as the brand grows?
Yeah, so I've already spoke to that franchise business coach role with Stretch Lab. And I love that role. I think it is something so special to me in my heart. It's what I really find joy in. So my role with Konala franchisees is to help guide them step by step through the process. From the moment they sign and become a franchisee, through training, through operating in a store, or hopefully many more, truthfully, like
Yeah.
get as many stores as we can and beyond. I want to help them grow. I'm here to teach the systems that we've created and help them be successful. I'm here for every question, every phone call, and continued growth to help teach them be as successful as possible. And I really want to be a teammate for them. That is I love that part of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's just incredible. A brand that, was born not too long ago, growing like crazy already, has the kind of support like you on their team for the franchisees. Cause that's what, number one, when people are looking at investing, it's like, who's going to be there by my side after I sign that contract. And that's, a big question when you have the systems, but you have a question or something that doesn't go right or something that isn't written in the manual, like who do you have? And so I think that's incredible that they have used the resource and the Konala team has already built that up.
And we've done a lot of trial and error. I mean, it sounds like it's gone quick, but we've moved quick and made a lot of mistakes so that we are able to continue to learn and grow and make those mistakes so the franchisee doesn't have to. Truthfully, like that was early on. We've done it all. I've seen it all. It feels like I have anyway in that first little bit so that I can help, show them the way or, lead them down the right path.
Yeah, and especially, even talking about the menu iterations that you guys had, there's so many people that come into food, they're like, oh, let's try this, let's try that. And then now you get to say, we tried it, we did it, it didn't work, this is what works, and that's what they pay for in that entry to be a franchisee. So that's really cool. Moving forward a little bit more on the franchising side. So what kind of drives you to feel that Konala is going to be really successful in the franchising world?
We really have a theme here today, and it's simplicity. I will say that we believe in our product first and foremost. We have a passion for it. Our whole team does. Everyone on the executive team, we really believe in the good quality, healthy food that we're dishing up every day. That's the first and foremost of it. Why I think it will be successful, because truthfully, I eat it almost every day, if not twice a day. So, one, I love it and I can stand by the product. And then going back to our theme, it is simple due to the simple nature of, not only cooking, but our line is so simple in dishing up bowls, our user-friendly ordering system, Konala as a whole, as a franchise, especially from what I've seen on my end, you just can see such a tremendous success coming because it is so simple and the customers love the product and the simple nature of it. They know what they're going to get every single time. That's the biggest thing is consistency. And we have that along with a simple product that's healthy and delicious.
Yeah. No, I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. I mean, it really is. I mean, simplicity. It's not only for the consumer, franchisee, and um. So yeah, that I think that's a great addition there. So if you could say anything to potential franchisees looking into Konala, what would it be?
Come join the team. I'm here for it. Like we've said, I've been around franchising on the ground floor for the last 5 years. I believe in the franchise model. And then furthermore, I believe in Konala. There's such a space for healthy food as delicious and convenient as possible. And we can't wait for you to help us share it with the world. That's truthfully it. Come join me and help me share this with everybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, and even Trace's podcast he was just on with, the CBS talking about, I mean, that interviewer was so passionate about there's not enough options and it's, you look at the world and people are struggling with food. I mean, that's kind of mind-blowing even for me coming, I've been working in franchising for basically the last 3 years so closely. I haven't seen a concept healthy fast food. I came from Chick-fil-A. Obviously, they have healthy options, but there's nothing, I mean, I haven't seen anything like it before. So I totally agree with you on that. We'll go into a little bit more about the operations, but there's been a thing floating around about the kitchenless kitchen. So can you tell us a little bit more about maybe why they talk about it that way?
Yeah. And I can kind of expand on that's one of the big reasons why I'm here. Trace and Jamie, the owners of Konala, owned a different business that was not as kitchenless kitchen before this. And I can tell you I wouldn't have signed up for that even a little bit. So on this side of things, truthfully, it all starts with the ovens. They're Trace's favorite employee, as he jokes. They are beyond user friendly. I'm truthfully surprised they don't send me my schedule in the morning. That's how awesome they are. They are just
One day, you never know.
they probably will, truthfully. They clean themselves at the end of the night, which is tremendous. That in itself is amazing. And because of that, they don't put out a ton of odor. They're perfect. I can't say anything more. We also use fresh ingredients. We don't cook with any oils. It allows us to be as healthy as possible. We don't have a fryer. We don't have a flat top. And I don't go home smelling like the product that I prepared all day. I can wear makeup. My skin feels great. My clothes don't smell. So it's all down to our healthy, fresh ingredients. These ovens are awesome and can do it all. They do anything from air fry to steam. It's really a clean work environment, which makes it enjoyable to be there.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess talking about, me coming from Chick-fil-A, love the brand, but obviously, there's fried food there. It's not always gonna be a dream to work in that kitchen. So I would, like you said, I'd come home smelling like French fries and fried chicken, and I have an oil stain on my shirt, and I have to take off my shoes in the garage because I have French fries stuck in the bottom of them. Like, so it's a bit of a rough battle out there in the fast food world. So. You've already said like you feel clean, you don't have to worry about any of that. I guess talk a little bit about you guys have a bulk of prep. Obviously, you have to do a little bit in the morning, but aside from that, you put everything in the oven, you fill the line, and then you're so busy it's gone. I mean, the actual process is not much,
Yeah,
right?
and we've set it up that we have not a ton of prep, but a lot of our prep is our fresh products, our cucumbers, our pineapples, that kind of stuff, which we cut fresh every day. From there, we do, our protein prep. That's a part of the day, but some of it is already prepped for us, comes prepped. Some of it is not, but it's simple and easy to prep because it is fresh. Once we start our day, we do a bit of a prep in the morning. We have our fridges ready to go for a full rush. We don't have to, tray or prep or do anything mid-rush. We're ready to go. You hit a button on your lovely oven that's so perfect. You throw your product in, it dings when it's done, and you put it in the well. It is a very simple, easy system to use. And then beyond that are, you're just packing full of protein, excuse me. And that's it on the line. And it's so very simple. And then we do maybe a little prep if needed, midday. And that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, it would take up me probably, you'd have to say 5, 6 people just in the morning, 3 hours of prep work, to get ready for the day. And that's not even including what you had to do the previous night, in my restaurant experience. So I guess how long gearing up for like your busiest day, how long of prep in the morning do you even have?
So we get to Konala an hour before we open. And then from there, we can continue to prep a little bit into our open part of the day, but we don't really need too much time. At midday, we can do a little bit more if needed, but we only get there an hour before open.
Oh, and so how many people does it typically take on that shift to prep and get the store ready to open in that first, half of your day?
We open the store with an average of 3 to 4 in the morning. From there, we might add an extra during our busy season. And then we have a bit of a changeover, and we bring our 3 to 4 new crew members on that night. And then I run about 8 a day.
Yeah, that seems like an absolute dream. I mean, you'd look at even Chick-fil-A, Jersey Mike's, any of those, you'd need a lot more just to keep prep going. So I guess and two, when you guys close, how long does it really take to close everything up?
We are out of there. So we close at 9 p.m. and I'm out of there anywhere between 9:15, 9:30, 10 o'clock at the absolute latest.
No way. Yeah, that's nuts. So you can, if it's a good day, everything's going smoothly and everything's in place, you can close in 15 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. I've
Wow.
worked really hard on it.
That seems almost impossible for a restaurant concept that's a drive-through and everything's fresh. It's kind of, there's got to be some kind of magic you guys are doing.
No magic. It's just all very simple.
Yeah.
It's, we have had the trial and error. We have, early days, I can tell you my days were a little bit longer, but now we have everything really dialed in, really perfected.
I mean, it just sounds like you've built these systems and processes and you've been there since the ground floor of Konala. So, in training these franchisees and getting everyone onboarded, you're going to know like how to get them up and running as fast as possible and keep it going as smooth as possible. And I love that you mentioned that you guys have manuals and trainings, but the trainings are also easy to follow. So that's a perfect recipe for success, really. Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to add about anything at all that you can think of about the operation, the brand?
I'm excited for our future. I'm excited for future franchisees. I can't wait to jump on the phone with everybody and help them or, make a quick trip down. And I'm excited to open new stores and train and get everyone leveled up, ready to go. It's going to be so awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I guess one other thing that, I kind of just thought of, do you think that people even need any restaurant experience to operate a Konala?
I didn't have any, so I would speak to that. I may have waitressed in my past life, but that was not restaurant experience to say the least. That was like a summer. So I would say absolutely not. For us, we are serving food, but that's not the side of it. It's, it is the customer service. It is the simplicity. We've done all these training manuals and I can teach that side of things, especially if I've learned it and not been in a kitchen. I can definitely teach it and show the easiest, best way possible. But I would say, no, you absolutely don't need experience in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, no, that's a dream. That does not happen. I mean, I really think ever in the franchise world, restaurant concept. So Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us today and telling us a little bit about yourself. And we're excited to grow Konala with you. I guess anything you'd like to add about working with FranSmart?
I've loved it so far. It's been awesome. You guys are great. I love
Good.
every second of it, and it's been such a awesome partnership.
Yeah. No, we're ready. We're ready. We got a good team. We're going. So awesome. Thank you.